Welcome to my messed up basement. And why is it messed up? Because we had a malfunction in our electric water heater. Now, we discovered ours leaking last night around midnight. Water was pouring out of the top, so it was pretty obvious that we had a real issue. And of course, the first thing we went and did is go to our breaker panel and turn the power off, because there's two things in the world that really don't like each other, and that's electricity and water. So we made sure our 220 for our water heater is turned off, and no one is allowed in this area until after we are complete. After we confirmed the power was off, we came into our utility room, and we have already installed cutoff valves for coming in and going out of the water heater, because we've had this problem in the past, and I'm really not a big fan of actually back draining the whole house of everything. So it's just so much easier last time around, or time before that, not even positive. But we do have cutoff valves, and we cut off the house and the actual feed to the water heater. And then we went ahead and opened up this compartment here. Now, this has already been done because we were kind of in an emergency mode. Had water flowing out of here. Actually wanted to get my line disconnected because it literally was sitting in this puddle of water. And all that was a couple wire nuts, and the ground lines actually screwed down to this plate here. And that was a simple disconnect. Went ahead and opened up our pressure relief valve after we put a hose on the bottom drain down here and stuck it in our sub pump. And we've let it sit for about an hour now, and it's completely drained out except for what's sitting in the top and probably all inside the case here. So now we have to actually cut these CPVC lines. As you can see, they've been done a couple times. I'm actually going to replace all of this. Okay, we've gone ahead and cut our lines off, and just as a precautionary note, make sure you clear your lines out after you cut them, because all that stuff will stay inside, in which case yeah, all that stuff will go right on down into your heater, into the rest of your plumbing system. It's not good. But now that it's disconnected, electric and plumbing, I'm going to get my son and we're going to brute force this bad boy right on out of here. Alright, we've gone ahead and got our old water heater out, and we brought the new one down. We've got it leveled up so it sits right. We actually have ours on feet down here so the actual bottom of the water heater doesn't sit on the concrete. I don't have a tray or anything like that to sit in because, as you can see, it goes right to my sub pump. And we just had one explode, and the water didn't come any further than right here, so we don't bother with a tray or anything like that. But if you do have a situation where the water would go elsewhere amongst your house, you really should put these in a tray, and it has a spout that comes off of it that you can channel the water anywhere you want it to go after it drains all down the sides here. Now, along with leveling it up, I've gone ahead and cleaned up my pipes, but I'm going to have to reuse a couple of these guys because our local suppliers, and I mean plural, don't have the fittings that we need, and they're pretty common. It's just that nobody has them at the moment. So we've cleaned those up. We're going to go ahead and get these attached to A and B. Then we'll put couplers on both of these and here and cut a piece of pipe that will fit in between the two. And that way I'll only have two connections. Reality is, as I said, if I had the opportunity, I would have bought all new fittings and ran it from here all the way up to the valves. But we don't have that opportunity, so we're just going to do what we have to, because we need hot water. we've gone ahead and got our CPVC lines installed. Just 2 joints this time, 2 joints. The only pieces I could find for the pressure relief valve was PVC, so I actually did this piece here to this elbow and to here, and then I put this nice rubber line. This is actually a heater hose, and it's good to 250 pounds, which that doesn't actually even have an end on it, so there shouldn't be any pressure at all, besides if it does decide to blow off. I will change that in the future. I just don't like it, but it's the only thing that's available right now. Next thing we're going to do is deal with the electric, and just like the last one, because this is identical to the last one, the electrics go on the top here. We brought our 220 line over. You're going to find that the ground line is already attached inside the box, and you're going to have 2 power leads. Basically they're 110 each, and that's when you end up with 220. Your ground is going to go to this plate that goes on top here, and you're going to put the 2 main feeds through this wire nut here, and you're going to go ahead and attach A to B with these nice new wire nuts. Alright, with our plate put back on, we went ahead and put our ground down, and with a snip of this wire tie, off it went to nowhere land, we are pretty much done with the install. Now this is the most important thing of all to do when installing an electric water heater. You have to let it fill completely up, and I mean completely. The reason you do that is because if these elements, there's one down here and one up here, and they look like this, and if they get exposed to air for any reason while they have power going to them, they will immediately burn up. And I mean like just like a light bulb. So you must fill the water heater completely before you ever think about turning power on. Not only that, but it gives you a good chance to make sure there's no leaks either. Since I have valves going in and out, all the rest of the lines from here on are still full of water. It's just this area right here that I have to worry about bleeding after the fact. So what I like to do is I pull up my pressure relief valve here, and I turn the water on, and I'll let it fill up to the pressure relief valve, and then from there I'll turn this valve on up here, which will feed the rest of the house, and I only have to bleed out this little bit of air, as opposed to trying to push all the tank air through the hot water lines. It's just so much easier just to pull the pressure relief valve and let it air out that way. But we have a bit of time to wait here for it to fill up. It is 50 gallons, so we'll be back. Alright, now that we have water running out of our overflow pipe, come back over here, turn you off. Everything seems fine there. Now we're going to go ahead and turn on the water to the rest of the house. Then we'll go upstairs and bleed that line out, so we'll make sure all the air is gone. No hot water means no dishes have been done, so pardon me. That's some dirty looking water there. Give that a couple seconds to bleed off, make sure it's all gone. And that's all about as expected. One final check, make sure there's no leaks. As I said, electricity and water do not like each other very much. And now it's time to go turn the power on. And with a quick flip of a switch, See, that's a positive sign already, because if there was a short in the lines, even with the elements themselves, it would have kicked off. So now we just have to wait for the water to heat up itself. All right, it's been about a half hour. Let's go over here and see if we get some hot water. Oh yeah, here it comes. Okay. Yep, that's hot. That's hot. I want to thank you all for coming along and enjoying my day here, and I hope you will like this video and subscribe to my channel, and I will see you around next time.